Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Anya.
So, what is cognitive apprenticeship?
I'm glad you asked. An apprenticeship is an arrangement in which an unskilled person works alongside of a master craftsperson to learn a particular job, skill, or craft. Before schools, apprenticeship was the most common means of learning, used to transmit the knowledge required for expert practice in fields from painting and sculpting to medicine and law. Over 400 years ago, trade apprenticeships were an important way to pass on the intricacies of creating the goods and services needed for daily living, as well as profit. While apprenticeships are still alive today, they are not considered the necessity they were back in the turn of the 16th century.
Okay, but what is cognitive apprenticeship? You only explained apprenticeship. What does this have to do with deep learning in the classroom?
I felt you should first hear what a traditional apprenticeship is before moving on to a cognitive apprenticeship. A group of 20th century educational scholars, Alan Collins, John Brown, and Susan Newman, have taken the idea of modeling performance, or apprenticeships, into the classroom and created a framework where the master craftsperson is the teacher and the student is the apprentice. Cognitive apprenticeship is an adaptation of modeling craft in the real world with a twist of modeling concepts in the real world.
Why is this different from traditional classroom teaching? How is knowledge transferred in a cognitive apprenticeship?
As in traditional apprenticeships, cognitive apprenticeships transfer knowledge through modeling. This aligns with the theories of both Albert Bandura and Lev Vygotsky. Bandura's social learning theory is based on learning through observation, where the teacher is the model and the student is the observer. Bandura furthered his model theory by adding a verbal modeling component, stating, "Models verbalize their reasoning strategy as they engage in problem-solving activities, making the thoughts that guide their thinking observable." Not only are thought processes verbalized, but any mistakes made are also verbalized. The instructor can then verbalize the process related to resolving the error. Len Vygotsky's sociocultural theory and zone of proximal development, ZPD, puts the onus on the social interactions between the student and a skilled instructor or a more knowledgeable other, MKO. The student engages in collaborative problem-solving dialogue with the MKO to internalize concepts and solutions. In the zone of proximal development, a student will be able to achieve a task if they are given the proper assistance. The assistance of an MKO will move the student through the ZPD, through social interaction and scaffolding, and then taper support until the student is able to repeat the task on his or her own.
This seems like it's been around for a while. What's the difference in what Bandura and Vygotsky theorized and Collins, Brown, and Newman's theory?
According to Collins, Brown, and Newman, cognitive apprenticeship emphasizes the focus of learning through guided experience on cognitive and metacognitive rather than physical skills and processes. Cognitive apprenticeship emphasizes deconceptualizing knowledge so that it can be used in many different settings. This way, students learn to apply their knowledge in a number of different contexts. It begins as modeling, where the expert or teacher in the classroom gives a clear and detailed demonstration of a task. The expert works through the task or problem verbally and procedurally so that they can hear how the expert is mentally processing as they work through the task or problem. Next, the expert gives the learner a similar problem that they work through together. The expert gives feedback and hints, taking on a coaching role. As the learner becomes more comfortable with the task, the instructor begins to step back and take a supportive role known as scaffolding. The instructor has the learner articulate their thoughts, knowledge, and reasoning as they work through the tasks or solve problems. The learner then reflects on their performance and abilities and compare their processes for problem solving with the expert process. Exploration takes place after the learner builds confidence and is competent enough to solve problems independently, with the awareness of how they think through problem solving. The instructor steps back or fades to allow room for the learner to become an independent problem solver.
It seems like a workable framework for the classroom, but I am sure it cannot be used in an online environment.
Actually, it turns out that cognitive apprenticeship can work in online environments. The growth of technology has opened the door for innovations in many sectors of business and education. Technology-based learning, TBL, is continuously improving in the way instructors design courses and interact with learners both synchronously and asynchronously. TBL also has a platform for cognitive apprenticeship. Using the Collins, Brown, and Newman framework, online learners can benefit in both synchronous and asynchronous course environments with the use of learning management systems, LMS.
Maybe it can work online but only in a synchronous environment.
An LMS can provide opportunities for collaboration where instructors can demonstrate problem solving using a video demonstration or live in a synchronous setting and prepare learners to develop a broad range of expertise that they can then transfer to a new problem.
How do we know if knowledge has been transferred?
Learners can post Think Aloud protocols as videos or recordings that talk through their thought processes while solving a problem. Other learners can then review them, which may help the community of learners gain different or new perspectives to resolve problems.
So, what you are saying is, cognitive apprenticeships can be effective in both the classroom and in an online technology-based setting. In both environments, instructors can use the cognitive apprenticeship framework to move students toward becoming more confident, independent learners by teaching the skills needed to approach any problem.
You got it, dude.